Hey everybody, my name is Daniel Hill. I wanted to do a quick little presentation for you on how to create some virtual visuals. You can use these tech resources if you have to teach both virtually or you could share these if you have the opportunity to teach face-to-face as well. So my name is Daniel Hill. I'm a National Board Certified Teacher. I teach in Lexington, Kentucky. I am Kentucky Shape's past president and an open national trainer. This is my 21st year teaching elementary physical education. So with that said, let's get right into it. Here is a picture of one of my many virtual classrooms. Now these were all the rage back in the spring. Multiple designs, multiple multiple authors that created these, multiple ways to do it as well. So, there's no wrong way to make it look. It's completely up to you. Obviously, you can put as many or as few images as you would like. I do a 5-part lesson, so I'm going to have about 5 images in there. Each image is a link to a activity, link to a lesson. But that being said, these are links that I create. These are videos or skill performances that I, as the teacher, demonstrate. These are not links to anyone else's. That is my, opinion. That my soapbox a little bit. You can link so many different YouTube videos, but you're the teacher for your students. So you post your stuff in your virtual classroom. That is my opinion. Naturally, I have my school's name at the top over there, and obviously this is physical education, so we start with an instant activity. We do our fitness focus, our lesson focus, our skill focus, whatever we're learning that day, some kind of health tip down at the bottom. We finish with a calming activity, so they're all right there. So how do you make it? So a couple ways to do it, but let me give you some suggestions. So, oops, backspace. So here is another version, one of my original drafts of a virtual classroom. Now, as you heard me describe, there is a 5-part lesson. That is an image right from my brick and mortar school building that put right up there on the wall. And there's me. That's my Bitmoji. You can get that extension or get that app to create your own. That is a picture of my classroom. So I kind of liked it because it's very simple. And all I did for my students was say, boys and girls, I want you to click on the number. Click on the number. That's going to take you to my YouTube channel, and we're going to do that portion of the lesson. And I changed it every day. So how did I make it? So naturally that is in Google Slides, but the images use a couple tricks to make it look visually appealing. Those 2 paramount images are ways to modify those images. We're with these 2 websites. Removebg, remove background. That is for an image. So if you have a static image that you want, you can pull that image from the internet. You can pull it from your camera roll, however you choose to do that, from your Google Drive, whatever. And you upload it, and it naturally takes away the background. And then putting it in that virtual classroom image, just overlay, it just kind of looks a little bit more visually appealing. If you have a performance, if you have a video, a GIF, for example, you need that website unscreen.com. That takes the background out of a video. So remember these 2 sites. They are invaluable if you want to create some visually appealing images for your students. These are just some examples that I've done in the past of things that you can create for your students using that site. Unscreen. I have a GIF of there's my son down there batting off a tee. I'm doing different skills, frisbee toss, underhand strike, etc., etc. and you can plug them into your virtual images to share with your students. Here's the biggie for my students that do not speak English as their primary language. This is a way that I can communicate with them. So these two sites, Removebg and Unscreen, help me create these visuals for my students. So there is a blank image of how to create a virtual classroom. So I'm going to go through it, kind of how I've done it. So I want to insert an image, right? I'm going to grab it from my Google Drive. So I teach at Tates Creek Elementary, so there's our school logo. So I've removed the background of that. So I'm just going to pop it in right there. You can put a name on it, but I'm going to insert another image. I'm going to again pull from my Google Drive. So let's scroll down here. There's some Bitmojis, as you can see. A couple different things. I don't know. There's a lot of different me doing exercises and different different activities that you can do. There's a picture of a cone, for example. I'm going to grab that and insert it. But as you can see, that image does not look that good. So, because it has a background in it. So I'm going to go to remove.bg and take the background out of it. So I'm going to upload an image, and there they are. Tons of images. Like, for example, I'm going to do Superman because I like Superman. So there it is. Boom. I'm going to download it, and I'm going to pop it into my virtual classroom. There's Superman with no. I'm going to add it to my pictures. Boom. That puts it on my computer. And now I'll go back to my presentation. Just to give you an example of how I did it. Insert image from the computer. And I went to save pictures. And let's find Superman. Boom. Look. Isn't he awesome? Look at that. Boom. Now imagine that same process with pictures of you, pictures of a piece of equipment, a picture of something from your physical school, face-to-face school, that you can put in your virtual classroom to maintain that connection with that student. Simple process. Those for static images. Let me share my screen again. So again, it just kind of looks a little bit more visually appealing. All right. Next. Clicky. Okay. GIFs. I'm team GIF, not team GIF. Jif peanut butter is made here in the city that I live, Lexington, Kentucky. I'm team GIF, just for me. So making GIFs helps yourself, and it helps your students. Now just imagine all those GIFs that you can make. I use GiveCam, that app. If you're not familiar with GiveCam, download it, play around with it. If you're not comfortable doing that, I'm going to suggest that you go to CBHPE. This amazing resource, Mark and Becky Fulmer, have a whole collection of GIFs that you can put into your virtual classroom. Tons of stuff. But I want to spend a few minutes talking about this amazing resource called Comic Life. Comic Life is an app and a web-based resource that you can create different visuals for your students. Now these visuals you can share face-to-face. You can make a worksheet, or if you are teaching face-to-face, or you can make posters, or you can make a visual thing that you can put in your virtual classroom. These are just some examples. So I want to do a feeling check every day. So show me on your hand, because your screen is muted. Show me on your hand how you feeling today. Ooh, I see a lot of 5s, so you're having a super day. That's good to hear. So happy to hear that. If I see anybody doing this, I'm gonna check in with them. You can also do that face to face as well. Some different posters I have around my gym, both virtually and face to face. I made some advocacy posters. I want to help my families and my students understand that here's what PE now is going to look like virtually. So here's their step. Here's what it's going to be. I've used these Shape America guidelines to help create these. All of these have been created on that app, Comic Life. Warning, it is a little addictive. So you can put those images in there. You can also use Removebg to remove an image. You can overlay an image and create these visually appealing resources that you can share with your students. Another way that I've created a visual for my students was inspired by Kevin Tiller of Phys Ed Review, digital whiteboards. So creating a visual that demonstrates what we're going to do start to finish in that one lesson. So there's that 5-part lesson format that I'm always going to do, even when we get back face to face. There's that instant activity, that fitness, that skill focus, that final fun, that mindful minute. So there's that 5-part lesson. So I use Comic Life to create what you see on the screen. And then there's like an example of that particular lesson is on catching. So again, my students that do not speak English as their first language, this really helped them out. So all the squares, all the background, and then it was all created in that Comic Life app. And I will be doing the same thing virtually. Here's what we're doing first, and that instant activity. Let me demonstrate what we're going to do. Obviously, in this lesson, we're going to jump rope. Also, another visual, obviously, that you can create for your students are YouTube videos. Again, I would strongly encourage you to create your own. If your district or your school system has any kind of restrictions on YouTube, there are some settings that you can do to get around it. But you can. Not about making money. It's making a visual for your students. And a way to do that with a pretty amazing resource is WeVideo. WeVideo is a video editing program that you can get online. It is a paid service, so maybe there's some funds that you can procure from your school system to do that. My school has a site license, and you can get an access code to have your own files. So just for example, I know I'm not trying to promote my YouTube video, but just to give you an example of all the images that you're seeing on the screen, the music, obviously it's me talking, all the transitions that you see, it's all in WeVideo. It's pretty self-explanatory. All the background images, obviously I'm taking this picture in my own home. All the bells and whistles of it, it's all in WeVideo. Strongly encourage you to get that site. So as you can see on the screen, this is another app called VClone. You can clone yourself with an iPad and do some dances. It's a fun little video image that you can do. Okay, so these images, I highly encourage you to check them out, play with them, learn them, and these visuals are going to help your students be more engaged virtually, and eventually also you can share them when you get back face to face. Stay healthy, stay safe, and as always, stay super. See ya.